Courts are sober, dignified places where justice is served with solemn ceremony, except when they're not, and it isn't. As the jaw-dropping footage on court cam reveals, things can sometimes get a little pear-shaped. Like when convicts go berserk, tip tables over, have actual fights with witnesses, or literally lunge face first at the judge. Then there are the prisoners who decide it's a really good idea to attempt an escape right there while everyone's looking. Let's take a closer look at 5 outrageous courtroom escapes caught on camera. Jessica Boomershine. This is Jessica Boomershine. She was sentenced to 25 to 30.5 years in prison in connection to the burglary, robbery, and kidnapping of an 85-year-old man who was forced into his trunk and left at a waste facility. Jessica Boomershine, 43, was sentenced Friday morning in Montgomery County Common Pleas Court in Dayton, Ohio. While Boomershine was in a holding area in the jail, she attempted an escape through the ceiling. She was pulled from the ceiling and fell. Jessica Boomershine didn't make it far, though. Surveillance video shows her trying to climb a pipe against the wall of a holding room at the Montgomery County Jail. She reaches the ceiling but then crashes through the tiles and is left suspended, her pants falling down as deputies grab her just before she falls into a trash can. Israel Pointer. When Israel Pointer showed up for his trial, Pointer was told his bond had been revoked and he was heading back to jail. In footage from the surveillance cameras, Pointer is shown grappling with and twice escaping jail deputies. After running out of the courtroom, he is shown cornered and with his hands behind his back outside of an elevator. He then is seen spinning around and jetting off down the hallway before jail deputies cornered him yet again, but Pointer slipped away. Footage from another camera then shows him encountering Oklahoma City County District Attorney David Prater and several other attorneys, who tackled the young man and pinned him to the ground. Pointer is currently charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm and 1 count of robbery of a firearm. David Knight. 30-year-old David Knight was out of custody and inside a courtroom for a hearing when he was told that he was going to be arrested for an outstanding warrant for possession of a controlled dangerous substance. Knight booked it out of the courtroom and lucked out when the elevator's door opened right on cue. Surveillance cameras tracked him from the 7th floor down to the 1st floor. Meanwhile, the judge alerted deputies and described Knight's clothing. Deputies then spotted Knight in the lobby and they chased him out of the doors, across the street, and toward the intersection of Robert S. Kerr and N. Hudson. The capture happened outside of the view of any surveillance cameras. The deputy caught Knight and tackled him to the ground. In the process, the deputy broke his shoulder, chipped his tooth, and scraped up his arms and legs. Knight will be booked into the Oklahoma County Jail for his outstanding warrant. Nicholas Garrison. Nicholas Garrison was sentenced to 6 months in jail for a meth possession charge. Video from inside the Highland County Courthouse in Hillsboro, Ohio, house shows Garrison getting taken into custody, then bolting outside the room. The video showed Garrison breaking away from officers as they attempted to handcuff him at the back of the courtroom. He dashed for a door leading to a stairway at the front of the courtroom, with 3 officers in pursuit. As Garrison rounded a banister at the top of the steps and headed down them, Deputy Ben Reno leapt over the banister in an attempt to grab Reno. He barely missed, hit his head on the wall on the other side of the steps, then slid limply down the steps on his back, coming to a rest on a landing where the steps take a turn. Deputies got several tips that Garrison was in Clinton County. They got a search warrant and deputies arrested Garrison at a motel in Clinton County. He was taken to the Highland County Jail. Garrison would now face new charges stemming from his escape. He faces up to a year in jail and a maximum fine of $2,500. Mario Guzman. A man caused a 4-minute uproar in court Wednesday when he attempted to flee custody by running atop courtroom benches before law enforcement used a taser on him in Louisville. Mario Guzman was appearing in court for a pretrial conference on cocaine trafficking, marijuana possession, and drug paraphernalia possession charges from 2013. Jefferson Circuit Court Judge Mary Shaw ordered Mario Guzman to be taken into custody after raising his bond. Guzman stood up and spoke briefly with his defense attorney before darting toward the courtroom doors. The 6-foot, 190-pound Guzman jumped from bench to bench before law enforcement grappled with him to the ground. One officer's glasses were snapped and another broke fingernails in the scuffle. The arrest report details: Guzman was charged with 3 counts of assault of an officer and 1 count of criminal mischief. One officer used a taser on Guzman, who was atop another officer. Samantha Ayala, a co-defendant in the case, shrieked as officers attempted to restrain Guzman. After about 4 minutes, he was taken into custody. That was it for today's video. We hope you like it. If you want to see more interesting videos, then make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button,